Okay, so where we last left off was just going a brief overview, and I still have this box here, and I actually want to show you guys some of the snap feature it has, and some of the user interface that is part of this program, because I feel like if you understand the user interface, kind of how this program works, it makes it a lot easier to use. So for example, if this is the box right here, this is called a wireframe view where you just see the frames of it. If we go to this right here, we just click that, and we go under, there's a bunch of these, there is all these other views. The ones you mainly use is, the one you'll mainly use is shaded. Sometimes I use rendered, and I rarely use ghosted, but I know some people do. There's a lot of other ones, as you can see. So we're going to go to shaded real quick, and this is what shade looks like. It kind of actually makes it look like an actual solid. And this is what rendered looks like. It literally renders the box, and since there's no material on it, it just has a white kind of view to it. So I usually just stick with shaded when I'm modeling. It makes it a lot easier. So yeah. Usually I want to let you guys know that this program is more of a type-based program, so it's more of a type the command. So you have these command kind of line right here. So like I did before, I did box, and I would type that in. Again, I'm not going over the commands right now. I am just showing you that this is more of a type-based. So, also, you can use some of these tools right here. I'm pretty sure you guys have a bigger palette. I decided to I customized my toolbar to what I really need, not to everything. The standard is everything, so I don't like that. So I just kind of have it to what I want. So I have certain views of it, so like zoom selected and pan, things like that, if I'm really lazy. So, and save and print and all this other stuff. So, for example, to understand the user interface, like we did before, to orbit is just right click, and to shift it, or to pan is shift right click. I hope that understands it. So, yep. So, I want to give an example real quick. If, let's say, my model is all the way over there that I'm working on, and I'm kind of stuck, and I don't know how to get back to it. What I would do, what you can do is highlight it by just clicking on it, and it highlights this, and then you can actually click this button. It looks like a lens, a microscope lens, not microscope lens, sorry, a magnifying glass with two circles. You click that, and it will zoom to it. So it's really nice. That's a really nice feature. I use that a lot because I zoom out a lot if the model's too big or something along the lines of that, or it happens. So this is, I think, a really good feature on it's a really good feature in Rhino to have. What else is there? There's this toolbar of stuff that I use, or right here. I just don't really use it that often. So usually, how to build stuff, you would usually use line work in order to build something. Unless it's very simple geometry, then you can start carving away at this. For example, you would kind of use line work. So let's say this line, and then start building off of this line or any kind of two-dimensional shape first before you go three-dimensional. So I'm going to delete this. So yeah, that's a little bit of the interface. I'm going to go over more of the, not the views yet. I'm going to go over this. The snaps are very important, and they're really nice. So I'm going to type in line real quick. And as you can see, it starts to snap to things. Now the O-snap feature is right here, and this is grid snap. So if you want it to snap to the grid, you can see it's starting to snap to the grids. I usually don't use it. I usually don't use grid snap, but that's how it works. Ortho. Ortho is basically just a straight line. It has orthogonal lines, so no matter what you do, it will always draw a straight line or an orthogonal straight line in 90 degrees, as you can see. Unless you snap, the only thing that overrides that is if you snap it. You can see I snapped it to that corner, so it made this not 90-degree line relative to the origin. So as you can see, so if I turn off snaps, I'll always be 90 degrees. As you can see, I turned off snaps, so it's not snapping to that corner. Sometimes it is nice to turn off snaps, but you rarely turn it off unless it's like some weird situation. So to go over snaps, as you can see, this is the end/intersection. So where it intersects is the corners, and that's where you would kind of intersect the area. Near is, I think, probably one of the best tools as well, because you can use the edges of your model and kind of click on it. So let's say I kind of want around here, I can click off of that and make, let's say, a box right around here. So I think that's one of the nicest things. One thing I really found about Rhino is their snap tools are they're really on point. They're really nice. So it probably is one of the best snapping type of tools. So you can see it has near, and then if we go a little further, it has mid. So this is the midpoint. So right here, as you can see, this is, I snapped to the midpoint to draw that line. I also have some other ones. There's an intercept, which you saw with the corner. Perpendicular is just if I drew a straight line, it would say perpendicular, which means it's perpendicular to this, vertice right here. And then there's tangent, which is just touching the actual object. So yeah, those are just a little bit of the snap features. There's nothing really special about those. It's just something to need to go over. These are just a plugin, so don't worry about that for right now. And oh, one more thing. These are important. These are layers. If you guys have any CAD experience or experience in general with Photoshop or Illustrator, you know that layers are very important. So let's say if I make multiple boxes, and I want all these to be read differently, I'm going to, let's say I want these all different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click this box and add this to this layer. Sorry, and add this to this layer, add this to this layer. So what it does is it changes it to color, the corresponding color to the layer. You can do that. I mean, a more important part to layers is that you can control what geometry is showing right now. So if it's kind of in your way, so let's say I want to see this purple thing, I know you can just go over that, but I can actually use this light bulb and click that and hide it. And it's not gone, it's just I hid it from the view. So you can just click that. And you can also lock the geometry so you can't actually mess with it. You can only mess with, let's say, this purple geometry. So that's really nice. I'm going to undo. Also, there is Command Z or Control Z, sorry. So it's really, really nice to have the option to go back if you mess up and things like that. So yeah, this is just, the layers are really nice. Layers are very helpful in organizing your work, so I'd recommend working in a way that you use your layers. That's probably an extremely important thing to do. Okay. You can also change the color, so if I don't like blue, I can go to yellow. So all you have to do really to change that, sorry, is to double click the color, go to yellow, press OK, and it makes that box yellow. It's that simple. So it's pretty cool. Alright, that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much the interface of it. There's nothing really much else to it. There are views, but I went over that already. So it's very simple. It's just the top view of this, right view of this, and then the front view of this. So yeah, and there's a whole bunch of options on how you can see it. Right now, they're all defaulted to wireframe, but I like the perspective always in shaded. Unless, no, I pretty much always like it in shaded. So there's a bunch of other options here that I don't use very often. But yeah, so yeah, that's it for this video, and I will see you guys on the next video.